something a bit of a change from what I've done recently on the channel. Rather than going up to the allotment on a Sunday afternoon, I've come down the canal and dangled my GoPro again. Haven't been able to do this since whenever Storm Babet was, because the canal's been absolutely flooded, a proper torrent at times. But walking the dog down here a couple of days ago, I noticed it suddenly got a lot clearer. So I brought my GoPro down. I've just finished using the one full battery I had left. Need to do a whole load of charging. So what follows is a few edits of what I managed to find underwater at this time of year.
Well, immediately you can see it is looking somewhat barren beneath the surface. This is in about 4 to 5 feet of water. Visibility is not too bad, but you can see there's not a great deal down here. One little fish just there, and a little bit further up we have a slight change in lighting. Visibility again is okay, but still not a great deal of life to be seen down here. Slight change, much less visibility, but there are some fish. That's nice to see. This is what it used to look like last summer. Steaming with life, plenty of visibility, canal's looking really good, and to me this is just beautiful. It's a very stark contrast to what we have now. Straight away you can see visibility's not nearly as good, but that's not too surprising. What is surprising is landing immediately in a pile of landing nets. Wasn't expecting that. I have mentioned in the past that we do have problems with people illegally fishing and poaching down here, and that may be relevant. Further along we've got some more rubbish that's been launched in, some cans, bottles, plastic bags, and what I think is a tackle box. I think what we're seeing here is people trying to dispose of the evidence when a police patrol has come along and have found people fishing illegally. Bit more rubbish down there. There's a fair bit of natural debris here, like some of the blockwork and stones and sticks. It's a canal. It's what you kind of expect to a degree. So I'm not too surprised or bothered by any of that. There's some textiles and yet another landing net. So what are we up to? 3 landing nets so far, and potentially a tackle box. Tin down there and a fishing rod, complete with reel. The fact we got that much fishing tackle binned in the canal really does make me think it's someone disposing of stuff to avoid getting a fine. Bit of sight fencing along here. This was actually in one of my previous videos, and I never noticed it until I watched them back, having seen this, and it was lying flat. I think at my first one it was lying flat on the bottom, and I think someone snagged it and raised it into this position. Hence I'm now blundering along it with my camera and very lucky not to lose it. And there's another new addition to the canal. I know the Grantham Canal Society will be having a working party coming along to yoink this out at some point, hopefully within the next month or so. They do great work looking after the canal and getting it restored bit by bit. So fingers crossed this will be cleared out at some point soon. This is back where we were earlier. So the old fishing debris, sort of textiles there as well, plastic bottles. So I think it's a tackle box again, and I believe we're back up the other end now where we started more or less over those landing nets that we saw when we plunged in to begin with. That's them at the bottom of the shot there. Back on the other side of the canal now. And again, you can see the water column is devoid of life. There's no fish in here at all to speak of. In fact, I didn't see a single one. I watched back much more footage than I'm including on the video here, and there is not a single fish in this loch compared to where it was teeming last year. A bit more rubbish down here, including yet another fishing rod. Oh, and some carpet. So yeah, very disappointing to see the lack of fish in this loch. Nothing in the water column whatsoever. The plant life I wasn't expecting to see. We've had the massive storm rush through here. We've had the winter months, which usually things die back anyway, so I'm not overly surprised by any of that. But I certainly wasn't expecting to have no fish in here whatsoever, considering the amount we saw previously. And there's a welly boot as well. Once this lot runs out, I'm just going to see what closing thoughts I can try to put together on this one. Am I surprised by what I've seen here? In terms of the rubbish, yeah, the fishing tackle I certainly wasn't expecting, but I think the logic stacks up that someone's dumped it to avoid being accused of committing an offence. Why would you do that if you weren't committing an offence? I think the illegal fishing theory stacks up. The scrap metal, the bike, the fence, that's bizarre. This isn't anywhere near a road. Someone's had to really go to some effort to get to this loch to chuck stuff in there. So I'm genuinely surprised at that, especially considering we have free scrap metal collection around here and all. So yeah, the overall outcome, I suppose, a little bit disappointing. Not quite what I was hoping for, but in terms of how much of a storm rush we had through here, I'm not entirely surprised at the look of fish, despite being disappointed that that is the case. So thank you very much for watching. I'm going to let a little bit play out with some actual fish for you, so there's the choice cut from the other videos. Please do hit the like button if you've enjoyed it, and I will catch you in the next one, whether it's back down at the canal or on the allotment or even elsewhere. Cheers.